Nobody likes HOAs. Nobody likes HOAs. I think, Tommy, our show director, aren't you the president of your HOA? Why would anybody volunteer for that?
I'm on my third or fourth term.
Third or fourth term.
You're like the...
People love me so much as president.
You're like the Putin
I'm forever president.
Why would you sign up for that?
So other crazy people can't control the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather have Tommy in charge than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I had a listener hit us up, and I do this segment called The Dark Side. And we've done The Dark Side at Disney, Chuck E. Cheese, college, RAs. And she hit me up. She says, "Hey, Kristin, I'm a P1, been listening since 2013. I'm loving these Dark Side segments that you've been doing. I recently took over as president of my HOA, and I have learned of some seriously shady stuff in just a few weeks. Handshake deals that should have been contracts for years, board members excusing themselves from paying dues while also getting paid thousands of dollars for their services, etc. All of this has made me wonder about the dark side of HOAs, and I figured you may be able to dig up some dirt for his segment, Emily."
This is great. If you guys have suggestions for Kristin on this, hit her up.
Please do. So I decided to do Dark Side of HOAs this week. And so in my research, I'm I'm Googling certain terms, and I'm going to be honest, not a lot of stuff popped up. Like a lot of trivial stuff popped up, but I wanted to get like dirty. So I was like HOA affairs, HOA murder, like I was going hard. And then I went the comedy route, and John Oliver on Last Week Tonight did an entire 30-minute episode on HOAs, just railing on them.
Stories of HOAs being petty are legion.
A Valley homeowner says her HOA wants to fine her because she installed artificial grass.
A homeowners association told one San Antonio family their holiday decorations are up too early, so they got to come down.
I got lots and lots of letters from the HOA telling me to stop feeding the ducks.
I mean, when you receive a violation for a tree not being tree-shaped, it boggles your mind.
Yeah, of course it does. Because what does not tree-shaped even mean? If it has branches, bark, and a place for a squirrel to store some nuts and get some it's a tree. It's tree-shaped by definition.
So it was a lot of trivial things like that, right? So I got some of the bigger stories courtesy of some BuzzFeed list and Reddit. And this one blew my mind. I slipped in my driveway and fell and broke my femur near my hip and couldn't get up. I was laying in my driveway calling for help for about 30 minutes, and I could hear people walking past, but nobody stopped. I eventually asked someone to call an ambulance and got taken care of. Spent a few days in the hospital. When I got home, I had a letter from my HOA saying I was in violation for sleeping in my driveway in the middle of the day.
Whoa. Shut up.
So the people who walked by and definitely heard me call for help, didn't stop, were the HOA and reported me to them.
Come on. You're going to lead with that one, huh?
Yeah, I am. Next we have, again, dark side of HOAs, drones were used to make sure no one was growing vegetables in their backyards.
Wow. Okay. So is the theory here, I'm just trying to look at it from HOA side, that if you grow vegetables, it would attract wild animals?
I have no idea. I have no clue. It was about the time they brought out the drones that we'd had enough and moved 1,700 miles away. Friends say the drones had to be stopped, though, because of privacy and safety, so that's good at least.
That makes sense.
I visited a friend who lived in a strict HOA neighborhood. I was a smoker at the time. He didn't allow smoking in the house, and the HOA had a rule about smoking outside. You weren't even allowed to smoke or have visible alcohol cans or bottles in your own backyard. Yep, if you drank alcohol during a cookout or whatever, it had to be poured into cups.
Shut up.
No.
They also had rules about parking in the driveway for more than 30 minutes. Visiting the guy was a pain in the ass.
Damn.
Regulate that.
Right?
Don't know.
That's insane.
How would they even know?
I don't know. Firefighters in Pasco County, Florida, gave an HOA horror story a happy ending in July of 2018 after a man suffered a heart attack trying to lay sod at his home to avoid an HOA fine. While he was having his heart attack, literally in and out of consciousness, he kept begging me to figure out the sod. That's what the man's wife wrote on Facebook. So as firefighters took the man to the hospital, a brother-in-law came and planned to stay there by himself to finish the sod. The firefighters who took this homeowner who had a heart attack came back to the house and laid the man's sod so he wouldn't get a fine from his HOA.
See, that's why you end up having people like Tommy, because those are the folks that are crazy right there. So it's just a level of crazy.
There you go.
Good for you for volunteering, dude.
The Bert Show.